Oh no! More IRS agents are being terminated.
What happened today?
So, I mean, I went in at my normal time. When I arrived there, everybody was in a very downtrodden mood. And when I went to my computer, everybody was having some technical issues. Like none of our computers were really loading up either the programs that we needed to operate or like Teams.
The programs you needed to confiscate from hardworking Americans who are just trying to make ends meet. You mean those programs?
My story is the Teams. That's kind of how I figured out that we were getting fired today. Was when I went in, I logged into Teams, and I sent you the photo of what I saw when I went to log in. And that's when I left my cubicle and I went around to everybody else I work with. And I'm like, hey, what's your Teams look like?
What's the deal, guys? Is anybody else having trouble extorting from our fellow Americans? I mean, what's going on? How come we can't steal money today? What's going on?
We're having
the systems are down.
Some were able to log in. It was very, very chaotic. There was no organization to it at all. And basically we just sat around for the rest of the day. I mean, talk about government efficiency. We literally sat there and did nothing all day long.
Wait, on the clock? Are you okay with that? Have there been any other days where you just kind of sat around all day long? And I'm not complaining there. I want the IRS just to sit. I don't want them to exist. But if you are going to exist, just sit there and do nothing. Stop economically terrorizing us.
While we waited for our fate. So again, we got...
Oh, your fate. So what you're saying is you're used to having other Americans have their fate in your hands, and now somebody else has got your fate in their hands, and you don't like that too much, do you?
We got our email saying that we were fired after sitting around all day knowing we were fired. And then we turned in our equipment about an hour or so later, and then we were escorted out of the building.
What do you make of what happened to you and your colleagues today? We hear about 400 employees, including yourself, were laid off.
I mean, it's unfair. I was unemployed, so I was laid off. I was laid off before this job, and it took me 8 months to apply and go through all the background checks and everything I had to do to get this job. And then 4 months later, now I'm in the same boat I was in before.
They had to make sure that I was in a psychological divot, if you will. And in this psychological divot, this low place, this crevice that we all creep out of every morning when we go off to work and economically terrorize our fellow Americans, the psychological test tries to determine if we're psychopathic enough to actually steal money from innocent people.
I don't know how to feel. I'm kind of numb right now.
You're numb. How about when you see what it feels like to get an audit from the IRS? See how numb you feel then when they freeze your bank accounts and they send these threatening letters, and then you lose sleep because you don't want to lose your house.
I went out to lunch with one of my buddies after immediately it happened. And, what can you do at this point? Aside from reach out to the news organizations, reach out to our senators, reach out to our representatives.
So I thought, as a corrupt IRS official, I was like, what's the first thing we should do? And I'm talking to my pal when we're sitting here eating spaghetti, and we're like, you know what we should do? We should reach out to the fake news. Maybe the fake news will help us out of this situation.
It was an illegal firing.
Illegal firing.
My performance
isn't theft kind of illegal? Isn't that kind of criminal? You're worried about being illegally fired. What about fellow Americans who are worried about being illegally taken from, stolen from, the subjects of your theft?
Was good. I was doing everything I was supposed to be doing.
Well, now you got something else to do. Now you got a whole lot of free time, Fred. I don't know what your name is, but why don't you take that well-deserved vacation? Maybe you can go to, I don't know. How about the Gulf of America?
I was even one of those government employees that went every day of the week. I had to report every Monday through Friday, 7 to 3:30. That was my tour duty, and that's what I served.
Every day of the week is not Monday through Friday. Every day of the week is Monday through Sunday. Just, I don't know if you knew that. Maybe your calendars are wrong at the IRS.
And here I am.
Oh.
Did they give you any inkling as to is there a package that you're aware about that exists right now? Or
Well, no.
Where's this guy? This guy's sitting in his car because of his last IRS audit. Where's this guy? Where's this guy reporting from?
you're aware about that exists right now? Or
Well, no, not for us. I mean, I did not take that deferred resignation, which now looking back on it, it's kind of a regret, but who knows if that's even going to be honored in the end anyway, too. So I just feel pretty lost. I don't know where I'm going to go forward from here. I know the job market's not great right now. And what occurred today across the country.
And Billy, I don't know how I'm going to make the transition. I mean, I'm going to have to go from parasite to productive, and I'm kind of lost. I kind of liked being a parasite, feeding off the rest of you.
Is not going to help the job market.
what do you make of the Trump administration's actions?
I thought that he was. I did support him. I was a Trump supporter. When he talks about government waste and all that, yes, I'm behind it. I believe there is a lot of stuff in the government that needs fixing.
I know that there's government waste. I know that they spend a whole lot of money on things that they shouldn't, on expensive things that are just junk, but I'm going to continue extracting revenue from the tax cattle. That's how I kind of feel good about myself. That's how I can lay my head down on my pillow at night feeling like I've done what I was supposed to do.
And that's part of the reason why I actually wanted to work for the government, actually, to help change the things that are wrong in the world,
I wanted to help change things that are wrong in America. So I thought, where could they best use me? Why don't I go to the Internal Revenue Service? That'll make things a whole lot better, won't it?
I thought that.
By the way, this is being reported by NBC. Nothing but crap.
I thought that someone with like his business acumen would have come in with a fine-tooth comb and actually found it, instead of coming in with a wrecking ball and destroying people's lives for no reason.
Howie's getting upset here.
Were you given a reason for the termination?
That my performance no longer fits the mission of the IRS.
Can you say whether or not your manager, your whoever, your superiors, was it very just about face, or did it seem like
No, our management was scrambling to help us today. Management and union. I can't talk good about them because of where I'm at, but I mean, they did everything they could to help us today. And even some of the higher up management were sympathetic, and they understood where we were coming from.
Today, we're interviewing Nikki from the Genovese family. Nikki, what do you feel like we heard you got terminated from your job. What are you going to do from this day forward now that there's no razor wire, cement shoes, baseball bats, none of that in your future? You're not going to be able to go to that corner market and, start knocking things around and get all Vivian upset and then steal a boatload of cash from her. What do you plan on doing with your life, you non-parasite? You're not even a parasite anymore. What do you call yourself?
And I don't think they wanted us to go either. This was an executive action outside of his scope of power.
Outside of his scope
Have
of power.
been able to think about what you're going to do next in terms of dealing with this?
In terms of, I don't know, unbridled extortion?
Situation?
Not yet. I'm still kind of digesting it. You know, I can't say it was a shock because I mean, we've been going through this mental torment for 2.5 weeks now.
I'm going through a mental torment. I mean, I was the most healthy tick on the back of the dog, and he rubbed up against this branch, and now I find myself just floundering on the ground. I was this big fat tick just sucking off the life of everybody else, and now I just don't know what to do.
So I can't say it like I was blindsided and I'm shocked. You know, but when the hammer finally dropped, it still hurt, you know?
Well, I'm very sorry to hear what happened to you and your
Are you really, though? Do you know what the IRS is? Do you know who the IRS works for? Are you really sorry that another parasite has been flicked off like a flea, like the flea that he is? Are you really sorry about this? Are you being genuine? Are you that ignorant?
colleagues? Is there anything else that you would like people to know that you feel is important?
Please don't make me go back to. Please don't make me go to work. Please don't make me become a productive member of society. Maybe we should do an audit on you. Maybe we should audit you. Let's see what's going on. Let's see if your papers are in order.
You know, government.
That's what IRS is. IRS is papers, please. Give me your paper. We don't have your papers. Says here you skipped the last couple of years. We need to look into your finances. How much do you have in your bank account? How much do you have in your house? How leveraged are you? Why haven't you paid your fair share?
Employees do a service. It's I know we're not sometimes. I know the IRS isn't the favorite people on the planet, but you know we fund your government. We fund your roads. We fund everything.
We fund the mafia. Why wouldn't you want us? I know people got a problem with us, but how's the mafia going to generate revenue without us? Come on. Start feeling sorry for us. Can't you muster up a little bit of sympathy, folks?
So, you know, we're not there for us. You know, it was a job, and we tried to do it.
Oh, God. I can't go anymore. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought, please, in the comment section below. These poor IRS agents, what are they ever going to do? Those parasites over there. Read my lips. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. I'll see you in the next video.